seems to be not the fun of the international investment agreements, and they think that none of the current reform suggestions provided by different people is perfect for the ISDS mechanism. And the next section is the methodology. The methodology section has talked about the research method, research specification, research stage, data collection technical, analysis method, and the user analyze tools. Chapter 2, Theoretic Basis. Firstly, the clarification of certain relevant concepts has been explained, namely the definition of investment, investor, investment dispute, capital, foreign capital, and domestic capital. And then the theoretical basis from the perspective of the experts. For details, Indonesia experts like Doctoral view on the Indonesia's measure concerning ISDS is that Indonesia needs FDI to increase economic growth, but at the same time, Indonesia also needs to review all the keys. There are other experts like Hikmahato, Junwana, Suyamo Monato hold their own views. Chinese experts like Professor Chitong emphasize the adoption of ADR and the prevent system. Professor Xiaojun, Dr. Lin Huilin also has their different ideas about ISDS. International experts, for example, Professor E. Abaza, thinks there are a lot of problems on ISDS system, but none of the suggestion is fundamental and practical. While Professor M. Sonaraja and Anthony Roberts have other thoughts concerning this. Last one is the theoretic basis from the perspective of laws and treaties. This includes the domestic laws and regulations, for example, the investment law, arbitration law, civil procedure law, etc., and also the international laws and treaties, including the International Investment Law, Washington Convention, New York Convention, the different kinds of BITs and IRAs, etc. In Chapter 3, 3 research findings have been found in this part. They are the inefficiency of the ISDS reform, no consensus for the ISDS reform, and the problems with the current ISDS practice. United Nations Commission on International Trade now entrusted Working Group 3 with a board mandate to work on the possible reform of investor-state dispute settlements since from the year of 2017. So till now, it has been 7 years. There is no any consensus has been reached yet. And the current ISDS practice has the following problems. Number 1, the inconsistencies in investment arbitration. Number 2, the selection and ethics standards of the arbitrators. Number 3, ADR has not played an important role in the current ISDS system. Number 4, the defective structure of international ISDS system. Number 5, both Indonesia and China has various problems in their own ISDS. Chapter 4 is about the analyze. This chapter is being analyzed by the comparison on local remedy between Indonesia and China, the comparison on international arbitration between Indonesia and China, the comparison on ADR between Indonesia and China. Then the idea of establishing the multilateral investment court has been illustrated. The reason that the ISDS system should exclude arbitration and the comparison focusing on the aspect of investment incentive in Indonesia and China in the end of this section. So the conclusion chapter is the chapter 5. In this chapter, 3 conclusions concerning the description about the international ISDS system, Indonesia's ISDS system, and China's ISDS system. Triangle system, which consists of the local court, international mediation, and the multilateral investment court. And for Indonesia, besides the review and modify of the BITs, Indonesia should support the triangle system and improve the recognition and enforcement system, isolate the pace of legal experts' involvement in international investment world stage. Then for China, besides the revision of the certain terms in BITs and support the new system, China should also design the recognition and enforcement system, establish the investment insurance system, and guide the cooperate to take the social responsibility. That's my presentation for my dissertation. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you for your presentation. We will now proceed to the question and answer session. First question by Dr. Riyatno, please.
Thank you, Prof. Ahmad. Good afternoon, Law Yuan. First, congratulations. Today, now you have in open examination. I have 2 questions. Do you hear?
Dr. Rianto, I cannot hear you clearly.
Oh, okay. Do you hear?
Yes.
Okay. I have 2 questions. The first is, what are the best practice and key lessons from your research on ISDS mechanism that Indonesia could adopt based on your comparative study of China? Considering the difference in legal culture between the 2 countries, how do you think this lesson can be effectively adapted and implemented in Indonesia? Is clear my question, Juan?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Oh, okay. I repeat one again.
Okay,
what are the
thank you.
best practice and key lessons from your research on ISDS mechanism that Indonesia could adopt based on your comparative study of China? Considering the differences in legal culture between the 2 countries, how do you think this lesson can be effectively adapted and implemented in Indonesia? It's okay?
Yes.
Okay, just one question.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Riano, for your question. So according to my research and study, I have found that there are some differences between China and Indonesia concerning the ISDS system. and we both have the some like advantages and some aspects that we can learn from each other. For example, the recognition and enforcement enforcement of the arbitration award in Indonesia and China is different because even though both China and Indonesia are the signatory country of New York Convention, Indonesia has practiced the obligation of the New York Convention and recognize and enforce the international investment arbitration award. But China has even China is the member of the New York Convention. China has issued a notice from the Supreme Court in, I think, in 1987 for excluding the investment dispute in this convention. That means even though we are the signatory country of New York Convention, we exclude the obligation under this convention concerning the investment dispute. So for these aspects, I think we should know from Indonesia to fulfill the obligation under the New York Convention. And for the other side, about the content of the BIT, I think Indonesia has already realized the some meaning errors or some contradict aspects in the BITs. For example, I have found that in the BIT between Indonesia and the UK, there has some description about the scope of the investment the BIT which the BIT can protect. The first item is that this BIT protects every kind of asset. So according to our understanding, if they mentioned every kind of asset, it means not only about the direct investment, but also including the indirect investment. While in the later content of this BIT, it states like this: this agreement shall only apply to investments by nationals or companies of the United Kingdom in the territory of the Republic of Indonesia, which have been granted admission in accordance with the Foreign Capital Investment Law number 1 of 1967 or any law amending or replacing it. So this is a very contradict point for this BIT. So we know that under the investment law of Indonesia, it only covers the direct investment, and the indirect investment is not covered under the investment law. So this is our views very contract with each other in the same BIT, in the content of the same BIT. So I think this is the aspect that we can make the improvements, and also for the other aspect is about the adoption and popularity of the ADR. So recently, China has launched some preparatory office in Hong Kong for establishing the International Mediation Court. And Indonesia is also one of the countries which participated in the negotiation process of establishing this International Mediation Court. So I think we cannot see which country should know from which country, but we can only see that we have many like aspects we can learn from each other and make the improvements together. That's my answer. Thank you, Dr. Riano.
Thank you so much, Yuan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Riatno and Yuan Yuan. And next question, please, Professor Dr. Gunardi.
Hello, Yuan Yuan. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Prof. Nadi. Yes.
First of all, I would like to congratulate to you for finally reaching this moment. You stand before us, the examination panel of the Open Defense for Doctoral Program in Law. Yuan Yuan, I have made some question for you. Do you know before the person distinguished professor in field in law, Lawrence Mayer Friedman?
Sorry, I don't know about this professor.
Okay. Lawrence Mayer Friedman, famous in his theory about the legal system. He mentioned that legal system elements are legal structure, legal substance, and legal culture. My question related with his theory. Do you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing, Prof.
My related with your title, your topic, dissertation, investment dispute settlement mechanism, a cooperative study between Indonesia and China, right?
Yes.
So I have 3 questions related with the Lawrence Mayer Friedman legal system theory.
Yeah.
First, related with general framework, what are the key differences between the investment dispute settlement? What are the key differences between the investment dispute settlement mechanism used in Indonesia and China? That's the first question. Have you already write?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm writing. I have written down.
And the second, the question number 2, related with the legal substance. How do the legal systems in Indonesia and China influence their approaches to investment dispute settlement? Do you need repeat my question?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, question number 2, right? Related with the legal substance. The question is, how do the legal systems in Indonesia and China influence their approaches to investment dispute settlement? Can you catch my question?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. And the question number 3, related with the culture, legal culture. My question is, how do culture and political differences between Indonesia and China impact their approaches to resolving investment dispute?
Okay.
Have you already noted my question?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. That's all. 3 questions
Okay.
for you, please.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Nie. Thank you for your question. The first question is about the differences between China and Indonesia in ISDS. So I will answer these questions by the typical 3 resolutions of ISDS. So for the first resolution, litigation resolution, in China we can in China, when the investment dispute happens, we can search for the resolution of local remedy. Usually, it should be the litigation. So this process is available in China, and so in Indonesia, this litigation is also available in Indonesia. So besides the litigation way in China, we have another Chinese character local remedy called the administrative reconsideration. So this is I think I cannot say it's unique, but it's not common in every country, because we have established this system under our government system. So it means if the foreign investor has some dispute with the host country, for example, with some government department or some staffs from the administrative department, they can apply for the administrative reconsideration, and also we have established a complete system in this for the foreign investor to make the complete make the complaint concerning their investment in China to this appeal system. So this is a little bit different with Indonesia, and concerning the international arbitration. Concerning the arbitration in Indonesia, if the investment dispute happens, we can submit the dispute to the international arbitration. I mean the international outside the Indonesia and both the international arbitration in Indonesia. But in China, we can only submit this to the international arbitration center or institution which is outside China. Because according to Chinese arbitration law, the Chinese arbitration law is only applicable for the two parties which are equal. So if the investment dispute happens, it means the two parties are the investor and the government. So they are not the equal legal person. So that's investor dispute cannot submit to the international arbitration center in China, but we can submit that in Hong Kong. So even Hong Kong is, we know that Hong Kong is the part of China and now is the special area of China. But they still continue their own legal system. So under their legal system, they can accept the investment dispute. But in mainland China, we cannot. The mainland China, in mainland China, the arbitration center cannot accept the investment dispute. So for the third resolution, ADR, I think this is most flexible and flexible way of the resolution. It's like most in most parts they are similar to each other in both Indonesia and China, and also we in China. And this may come combined with the third question concerning the ADR in China, because we are also the ancient country with the more than 5,000 years history. So we have many like ancient philosophies like the Confucianism, and also in Indonesia, because Indonesia is like a religion country, and the Muslim law, and also because it's the colonial history, and also the Adat law. Adat affects the Indonesian legal system a lot. So we have different history and different background, but in ADR, the different culture and the different philosophy leads people to priority to choose the ADR as the first resolution for their disputes. So for this aspect, I think it's both China and Indonesia are very similar to each other. So that's my answer for the question 1, and the question 2 is about the legal system. How do the legal system in Indonesia and China influence the approach to investment dispute settlement? I think. So both China and Indonesia are the civil law system countries, and besides the arbitration system, mediation system, I think these are the good base for the divorce resolution for both countries, because in Indonesia, both Indonesia and China, we have their own arbitration system and mediation system, and also the local litigation system. But the similarity is that we both don't have the international litigation resolution for the ISDS approaches for now. So I think this is my answer for question number 2, and for the question number 3 is that how the culture and the politics affects the Indonesia and China in solving the investment dispute. So we know that in Indonesia, the religion culture takes a very important place, a very important role in Indonesia society, and also the adat, the customary law. So based on this, I think the Indonesian people, and including the Indonesia, like the government departments, when the dispute comes, they firstly may thinking about the conciliation or like mediation, something like the friendly way to resolve the dispute. So in China, it's also in Indonesia, there the Pancasila as the fundamental of the establishment of the Republic of Indonesia. The Pancasila also indicates that how to say indicates people to get along with each other by peaceful way. So I think we can understand this as the indication or some instruction for the Indonesian people and the government to handle the disputes in the soft way for the first side. So for China, we have different religion background, but we have the similar philosophy in the Confucianism theory in China. It requires people to solve their problems or solve the issues or solve the dispute with others by harmony way. We call it 和. So this is not only reflected in the people's daily life, but also reflected in the social in some policies of the government, and also it reflects in the ISDS system. For example, the ADR, because China now takes China now has realized. I think China has realized the importance of the ADR. That's why, as I have explained before, we are preparing for establishing the international mediation courts. So this can also indicate that we have touched the importance of the ADR. So I think the culture and the politics, especially the cultural aspect, affects the ISDS mostly in the ADR part. So, Professor Neil, that's my answer for your questions.
Your explanation is enough. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Gunardi. And next question from Dr. Richard, please.
Thank you, Chairman of the panelists. How are you, Yuan?
Hi, Dr. Richard. I'm good.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Foreign investment is needed by developing countries like Indonesia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But Indonesia does not want to 100% depending on the foreign investments.
Mm-hmm.
Like a father and the children. The father also doesn't want their children to be 100% depending on the parents. Yeah? They want their children to be independent. Yeah? So that's how Indonesia treats foreign investments. The question is like this. Yeah? Well, we have principles in receiving foreign investments. In fact, we need to treat foreign investor as an ally in order to strengthening the economic of Indonesia. My first question is, of course, the foreign investor will see Indonesia, among others, there are push factor and pull factor. Push factor, for example, Indonesia with the huge populations is a great market. Pull factor, for instance, Indonesia granted tax incentive, tax havens to the foreign investor. Yeah. Well, the foreign investor will consider whether Indonesia is a good place or not to invest. Among other things, the consideration of the foreign investor is the legal systems, which is your research, the investment dispute settlement mechanisms. Could you explain to me what is China approach to investor or state dispute settlement reform, which can be considered by the governments of Indonesia? Please.
Dr. Richard, so about the question part, you said China, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Okay. Could you explain to me the China approach to investor, to foreign investor, dispute settlement reform, the reformations in your country on the investment dispute settlement mechanisms, which can be considered by the governments of Indonesia?
Thank you for your question, Dr. Richard. So, based on my knowledge, I have noticed that Chinese government has submitted some reform suggestions to Group 3, World Group 3. I have checked I'm not sure if we have the update one, but the latest one is that Chinese government is recommending the appeal system for the current international arbitration system. So this is our official reform suggestion for the international arbitration concerning the investment dispute. But this is not recommended in my dissertation. So because I have different personal ideas about this, because I'm not a fan of the international arbitration. So for this concern, I don't think Indonesia has something to learn from China or to and for the other part for the local remedy, I haven't noticed any reform is being undertaken now. But what I have noticed recently is about the mediation. So as one of the most important resolution of the ISDS, China used to be relevant climb down concerning this, but since from last year we have taken the measures. For example, as I explained before, the establishment of the International Mediation Court in Hong Kong, and I think this is a big reform of us, which for the ISDS system in China, because we cannot because the mediation has raised many people's concern in recent years. So I think this is the aspect that Indonesia can pay more attention to, and because as the leading country in ASEAN area, so I think Indonesia can place more important role in the ISDS, for example, in the mediation or in the mediation area for the international investment dispute in ASEAN area, because we have some like China ASEAN different various organization or projects. But I think Indonesia can play a leading role in the future in the ASEAN area to for the reform of the ISDS in the region.
全面战略伙伴关系的拉美国家。近年来，在我和卢拉氏战略引领下，两国日益成为命运与共的可靠朋友，共促和平的人。中大关系胜利。
So this is my answer. This is my answer for Dr. Richard's question.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Richard. And next question from Professor Aryawan, is read by Professor Gunardi, please.
Yuan. Hello.
Yes.
Yuan. Professor Aryawan have submitted 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Please listen and noted the question. First, question number 1. Within the context of the applicability and implications of the efficient bridge theory within the investment dispute settlement frameworks of Indonesia and China, when a state considers breaching an investment agreement for public interest reasons, to what extent can the efficient bridge theory justify such an action, given the potential for both financial and non-financial damages, including impacts on public welfare and investor trust? Do you think that the adoption of the efficient bridge theory could serve as preventive strategy against investment dispute, or if it risks undermining the principles of Pacta Sunt Servanda and the stability necessary for attracting foreign investment? That's the question number 1. Or I have sent to you, I have captured the question and sent to you by WhatsApp, your WhatsApp. You can check, you can open. Have you already mine?
Sorry, I'm connected with Louise.
I have
I'm checking.
already sent to.
Okay, I saw the
You got
question.
it? You got it?
Yes. There are 5 questions, Prof.
Two questions from Professor Aryawan, and
Yes.
just now I read the question number 1.
And number 2.
Now number 2. Do
Okay.
you need repeat the question? Number 1?
Okay.
Okay, Question number
What?
1. I repeat the question number 1 from Professor Aryawan. Within the context of the applicability and implications of the efficient bridge theory, within the investment dispute settlement frameworks of Indonesia and China. When a state considers breaching an investment agreement for public interest reasons, to what extent can the efficient breach theory justify such an action, given the potential for both financial and non-financial damages, including impacts on public welfare and investor trust? Do you think that the adoption of the efficient breach theory could serve as preventive strategy against investment disputes, or if it risks undermining the principles of Pacta Sunt Servanda and the stability necessary for attracting foreign investment? Can you catch the question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And question number 2. In the context of international investment law, states often struggle with balancing their sovereign right to regulate in public interest against the obligation to protect foreign investors' rights. How Indonesia and China navigate this tension within their investment dispute settlement mechanism? In addition, analyze the application and interpretation of the police powers doctrine and the fair and equitable treatment standard in Indonesia and China. How do their domestic laws and international agreements reflect this balance? And what are the application for regulatory autonomy and investor protection? Enough?
Oh, okay.
Can you catch the
Okay,
question? Okay. Please, now your answer.
Okay, Prof. So for Professor Aryan's question, we focus on the balance between the public interest and the protection of the investment. So actually, this is two very important two aspects in the international investment field. So when we talking about the public interest, so I think I haven't do the research concerning on this, but I can only answer the questions according to my current understanding. So for the public interest as a sovereign country, sovereign state, we need to protect the public interest, no matter the public interest for the people or for the people or for the government. So this is necessary for a sovereign country. But at the same time, if we have set very serious rules, regulations concerning this, it will undoubtedly decrease the investment, especially the investment from the foreign countries, because this may damage the interesting of the foreign investment. So for this concern, I think firstly the government need to have the very exact regulation on the definition of public interesting. For example, what kind of the scope and the types or some details information concerning the public interesting, because some laws just writing the government can stop the can breach the agreement if the investment makes the has some negative affections to the public interest. But usually they didn't regulate what kind of public interest it is, and to what extent the damage the country can breach the agreement. So the first thing I think is that the government needed to elaborate this in very detailed way to describe and to describe the scope and the nature and some features of the public interest. And then for the investment side, I think the government can adjust their negative list according to their country situation, and this may avoid some potential disputes which will harm the public interest in the future. I think this is my the current opinion concerning Professor Arian's question. Because actually I have noticed this, but I didn't do the research concerning this topic. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Yonwan.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Gunardi. And next question from Dr. Gatot Sumartono, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak Ketua, Mr. Chairman. Yuan, good to see you there. How are you there?
Good to see you.
You look stressful, yeah. I hope you still enjoy this process until finish. Anyway, I don't know whether I still need to give you questions, because I gave you quite a lot of questions from the start, from the proposal.
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
Proposal examinations, and then so-called as the results seminar 1, and also results seminar 2, and also close defense of your research. So I gave you quite a lot of questions at the time. But
yes.
I just want to make sure whether there is a different answers for all that questions. Okay, at the beginning of the proposal, I already gave you these questions actually. What makes your research different from the previous research? Right, so I just want to emphasize the originality of your research.
Okay.
Yeah, because during the research proposal, you already come with answers, and now I just want to make sure whether your answers already different from the previous one. That is my first question. And then the second one is about the so-called as the significance, because you already did some research for 3 years period, and I suppose that you found a lot of things or findings in your research, right? So the question is that, of course, about the significance. What are the benefits, of your research towards the investment dispute settlement in China? So what contributions that your research can make to the effectiveness of the investment dispute settlement in China? That is the two questions. So please you answer first. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So for the first question, I think my research on this is a bit different because of the comparative study. As we know that the investment settlement mechanism is very popular, no matter in China, and I believe also it's also popular in Indonesia. So in both countries, I think it's popular, and many like scholars and the students and even the practitioners, they are like doing some kind of research concerning this topic. But there is seldom people who do the comparative study between Indonesia and China concerning this topic. I think this makes my research a little bit different from others. So this is my answer for the first question. And for the second question, it's about the significance of my research. I think after I have finished this dissertation, I found that even we are the country which develops very quickly in recent years, and we have big economic numbers. But after I do the research, I found that there are many aspects we need to make the improvement. For example, the recognition and enforcement system for the investment dispute in arbitration award in China. This is like a blank, so we don't have the official procedure or some regulation concerning this. That means in the future, maybe the foreign investor who invested in China, who has the international arbitration versus Chinese government, and if the arbitration award is in favor of the claimant, so that means he cannot find the resolution, find the way to for this arbitration award to recognize and enforce it. And for the other aspects, for example, the BITs. So I think for the content of the BITs, we don't have so many problems, but I have found that there is a ignorance of the BIT protection scope. What I'm talking about is about the Hong Kong and Macau, because when Hong Kong and Macau comes back to our country, come back to our country, we are the one country, but with two different systems. So Macau and Hong Kong, they still use their own system, and also so does they have their previous legal system. So our central government authority then the Macau and Hong Kong government to have the authority to sign the international agreement with other countries. So if Hong Kong and Macau has signed the BIT with some countries, so their invest dispute will go with the signed agreement. While there are some countries which Hong Kong and Macau hasn't signed the BIT with, but the central government has signed. So we don't have this kind of regulation or notification to clarify that the countries who doesn't have the BIT with Macau and Hong Kong should be applicable for with the BIT the central government has signed with them. So this is another aspect I have found from my research. So these are the two examples I have illustrated here. So for me, I think it's even it's like a long process. I have found many like the differences and some points, some aspects that I can still like take time and energy to start on or do the research for my following like articles or projects. So this is very like a valuable experience, and I will also like cherish what I have found from this dissertation. And later on, maybe I still need to modify a lot about my dissertation after I keep continuously learn about this topic. Thank you, Prof. That's my answer.
Okay, thank you. I return this to Pak Ketua, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gatot. And finally, question from Professor Abdul Ghani, please.
Hello, Your Honor. One.
Yes, Prof.
Yeah. Do you hear Professor Ghani speaking?
Yes, I can hear you, Prof. But little, please be louder.
Yeah. In your conclusion,
Mungkin handphonenya Prof. Abdul Ghani kan?
in your conclusion, you propose to establish the investment. In your conclusion, you propose to establish the investment insurance system.
Yes.
Is the insurance system has a connecting system with the investment system?
Okay, Prof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Prof. So for I have mentioned about establishing the insurance system for this is the one of my reform suggestion for China, because as we may know that in recent years, Chinese government has raised out the Belt and Road Initiative. and with the trend of this Belt and Road Initiative, many like Chinese companies started to doing the investment in overseas. So because we have analyzed that the current ISDS system has many like flaws. So but this kind of problems is not the problem that we can solve it in a very short time. For example, the working group 3, they have worked on this for 7 years, but there is no any consensus has reached. So I think the reform will be a very long way to run. So in order to protecting our investments, so we suggest to establish the insurance system to make sure that besides the ISDS system, we have another way to guarantee us or helping us for our investment in overseas. So I think this is kind of like a made-up solution for the investment, especially for China, which has many investments going out of the country. So I think this is like a make-up resolution for the current ISDS system. That's my answer, Prof.
Yeah. In your analysis, you said that Japan also has an insurance in investment dispute. Do you see or do you think that it has related to Indonesian legal investment?
I think because like Dr. Richard said, Indonesia is a country who needs the FDI, but also needs to protect its like national economy and also the environment. So I think this reminds us to like take a balancing policies towards the foreign investment. And for the insurance, I think for the future Indonesia, I think it's also a benefit for the future Indonesia because as long as Indonesia has Indonesia's economic has developed in like a high point. I think there will be more Indonesian investors to do the investment outside the Indonesia. So at that time, I think this insurance system also will benefit for the Indonesian investors who is intended to do the investment overseas.
Is China also?
Yes, that's my answer, Prof.
Is China also has an insurance?
Yeah, we have, but it's like we have some like companies, state-owned companies. They are providing this kind of service, but it's not like the government system. It's not the necessary require for every investment. But we just encourage them to buy the insurance, but it's not the requirement.
According to the investment in Indonesia, China also has a special insurance. why don't you use the Chinese insurance in connection with your proposal to establish Indonesian insurance system?
So I propose to establish the insurance system, which can I propose this system can be like established by the government to form a very official system instead of the companies, the domestic companies or the foreign companies. Yes,
Already?
Prof. That's my answer.
Okay. The last question is, why didn't China introduce the insurance system to Indonesian legal system? Is that possible?
I think so. I think because now in China it's also the companies they are providing this kind of service. So it's not the government departments or government institutions. So for the companies, I think they can have some like communications and cooperations with the Indonesian companies.
Yeah. Okay, terima kasih.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Abdul Ghani. All right, all the questions have been answered satisfactorily. I now hand the session back to the event coordinator, please.
Thank you, Yuan, Director of Universitas Tarumanagara, Professor Dr. Ahmad Sudiro, SHMH, MKN, MM, temporarily adjourns the open doctoral defense.
Okay, the open examination is temporarily adjourned for 10 minutes to hold a closed meeting to determine the result.
The Rector and Examination Board procession of Universitas Tarumanagara will now temporarily leave the room. Guests are requested to stand.
Amen. saya buka secara resmi dan jalan sehat ini dalam rangka merayakan Disnatalis ke-65 Universitas Tarumanegara.
Untar hari ini merupakan buah dari cita-cita dan dedikasi para pendiri yang visioner yang telah meletakkan dasar filosofi yang kokoh, membentuk suatu institusi yang tidak hanya mengedepankan ilmu pengetahuan, tetapi juga membentuk karakter pemimpin masa depan yang berbudi luhur, berintegritas, profesional, dan berjiwa entrepreneur. Diinisiasi oleh sekelompok sosiawan yang tergabung dalam perkumpulan Sinminghui atau yang lebih dikenal dengan sebutan Chandranaya, para pendiri bersepakat untuk menghimpun orang muda yang siap mengabdi kepada masyarakat, meneguhkan hak-hak manusia, mempererat persaudaraan, serta meninggikan derajat manusia. Semangat para pendiri untuk mewujudkan cita-cita dan tujuannya membuahkan hasil yang baik. Pada 1 Oktober 1959, sejarah mencatat berdirinya Perguruan Tinggi Ekonomi Tarumanegara yang memberikan kesempatan seluas-luasnya kepada seluruh masyarakat dari berbagai latar belakang suku, ras, agama, dan golongan untuk dapat melanjutkan pendidikannya ke jenjang yang lebih tinggi. Seiring waktu berjalan, kebutuhan akan intelek muda yang semakin meningkat mendorong Perguruan Tinggi Ekonomi Tarumanegara untuk bertransformasi menjadi universitas, ditandai dengan didirikannya Fakultas Teknik Arsitektur, Fakultas Hukum, dan Fakultas Sastra pada tahun 1962, diikuti dengan berdirinya Fakultas Kedokteran pada 1965. Perkuliahan yang tadinya diselenggarakan di Gedung Chandranaya akhirnya berpindah ke Kampus Grogol di Jalan Letjen S. Parman nomor 1. Geliat Universitas Tarumanegara untuk maju dan berkembang semakin kuat, seiring dengan komitmen Tarumanegara dalam menghadirkan pendidikan berkualitas tinggi melalui inovasi dalam kurikulum, peningkatan fasilitas, penguatan riset, dan pembaruan tata kelola yayasan dan universitas yang transparan, akuntabel, dan profesional. Kini, dengan lebih dari 15.000 mahasiswa yang tersebar di 32 program studi, Untar tidak hanya berkembang dari segi kuantitas, tetapi juga kualitas. Peningkatan kualitas pendidikan dibuktikan dengan akreditasi unggul dan kurikulum yang terus diperbaharui untuk memenuhi tuntutan zaman. 65 tahun bukanlah usia yang muda, tetapi dengan semangat inovasi kami terus bergerak maju, menciptakan SDM unggul yang berintegritas, profesional, dan berjiwa entrepreneur bagi Indonesia.
Mengantar langkah kecil menuju impian besar yang menjadi kenyataan. 8 fakultas di Universitas Tarumanegara siap mendukung spirit memenangkan masa depan yang semakin ketat. We build today to win the future. Kini, Untar didukung lebih dari 1.000 dosen berkualitas yang turut membentuk pembangunan karakter positif atau Untarian. Menghasilkan generasi pemimpin yang berintegritas, profesional, dan berjiwa wirausaha adalah komitmen kami. The future is yours to define. Universitas Tarumanegara.
Untar salah satu perguruan tinggi swasta terbaik di Indonesia, mengembangkan nilai-nilai integritas, profesionalisme, dan entrepreneurship. Lulusan Untar unggul berjiwa entrepreneur. Kalian ingin sukses? Mari bergabung bersama menjadi Untarian. Klik go.untar.ac.id, pendaftaran online dan real time. menyediakan beasiswa penyelenggaraan pendidikan dan mahasiswa berprestasi. Untar untuk Indonesia, Untar selalu di hati.
Mimpi-mimpi kita, mimpi kita yang muda, angan-angan kita ada di kepala, rencana-rencana hanya jadi wacana jika diam saja. Habis waktumu banyak takut ini itu, percayalah selalu bahagia menunggu incaran yang dulu tepat di hadapanmu jika habis waktumu banyak takut ini itu, percayalah selalu bahagia menunggu incaran yang dulu tepat di hadapanmu jika kamu mau mulai langkahmu, mulai langkahmu. Perlahan tapi yakin, yang penting dilakuin, beda dengan yang lain. Kita pemimpin, ingat-ingatlah kata, janji takkan menyerah. Kejar, kejar, kejar rasa yang kamu suka. Perlahan tapi yakin, yang penting dilakuin, beda dengan yang lain. Kita pemimpin. Na 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 na, hey, na na na.
The Rector and Examination Board procession of Universitas Tarumanagara will now enter the room. Guests are kindly requested to stand. Guests are kindly requested to be seated. The Rector of Universitas Tarumanagara, Profesor Dr. Ahmad Sudiro, SH.MH. MKN MM, reopened the open session for the announcement of the examination result of Promovenda Luo Yuan Yuan.
The open examination is now reconvened for the announcement of the examination result.
The examination result of the open doctoral defense will be announced by the Rector Tarumanagara University, Profesor Dr. Ahmad Sudiro, SH.MH. MKN MM. The promovenda is requested to take her designated place.
Determination of issue for student credits of the doctoral program in Law, Faculty of Law, Tarumanagara University for the odd semester of the 2024-2025 academic years, considering and so on, referring to and so on, decision first to determine the judicium of credits of the doctoral program in Law, Faculty of Law, Tarumanagara University for the odd semester of the 2024-2025 academic years. Second, Based on the result of the open session of the examination both on Tuesday, November 2021, 2024, Promovenda Lu Yuan has completed her studies in 7 semesters, achieving a total of 42 credit or SKS with a cumulative grade point average of 4. She has also published an international journal article indexed in Scopus Q3 titled Enforcement of International Investment Arbitration Award, Comparative Lesson from Indonesia and China in accordance with her field of study. Based on the provisions of Article 3 of Board number X365 Untar 2022, she is declared to have passed the doctoral program with the distinction of with honors or pujian. Dr. Lu Yuan is the 42 graduates of the doctoral program in law, Faculty of Law Tarumanegara University. If at any time error and fault in this determination, all necessary amendment and correction will be made accordingly. Enacted in Jakarta on November 21, 2024, Rector Ahmad Sudiro. Congratulations, Dr. Yuan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
In
you,
the
Prof.
declaration of success, the new doctor is requested to don on academic gown and proceed to the stage. The biography of the new doctor will be read by co-promoter Dr. R.M. Gatot P. Sumartono, SH, SEMM, LLM.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. This is very rare opportunity for everyone here, especially for Yuan. So heartfelt and big congratulations to you, Yuan. You look very happy now. Yeah, you feel relief, right? No more burdens to study and to prepare your research or your dissertations. Okay, let me just read briefly about your CV. Um, Name Lu Yuan Yuan, and she was born on the 20th of April 1989, and she was born in Chuan province, China, and her native language is Chinese. And currently, she is the program director and assistant researcher of the China Asian Legal Research Center. About education background, Yuan received her bachelor degree from Yunnan University of Nationalities, majoring English, and then her master degree was given from Yunnan University of Nationalities, Southeast Asia's Language and Culture, and she also received a diploma from Yangon University of Foreign Language in Burma, or Burmese. And her language proficiency, of course, she speaks Burmese fluently, English, and Bahasa Indonesia, a little bit of beginner. Academic achievements of Yuan actually includes first her article on Myanmar Tangliyut Festival and marriage system in Myanmar. Also, she wrote an article published in Indonesia Law Review with the title of Reform Suggestion for STS in the Perspective of Mechanism Constructions. Sorry, this is, I suppose it's not the one that you published in that journal. I suppose this is different title. Anyway, the other article that she already published, this is the one that you published in Indonesia Law Review, I suppose. Enforcement of International Investment Arbitration Awards, Comparative Lessons from Indonesia and China. And then you also wrote a book chapter about Southeast Asia and Southeast Asia Rule and Practices on Trade. And the last one is your project, that is the influence of geopolitical changes on Myanmar's participation in China's One Belt and Road Initiative. So I think you make quite a lot of academic achievements, and congratulations. And one thing that you may need to understand from this announcement is that you graduated or received your doctorate degree with cum laude. Yeah, you are. So congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Presentation of a message or advice to the new doctor by the main promoter, Professor Dr. Abdul Ghani Abdullah, SH, LLM.
Okay, right? Before you know. Press.
Hello, Dr. Yan. Dr. Yuan Yuan.
Hello, Prof.
How are you?
I'm good.
Do you remember?
No.
Do you remember Starbucks in campus?
Your office.
Yeah, in where we always correction your dissertation and something like that. Yeah. And I would like to say to my proud that you have to be doctor in law in University of Tarumanegara. Very proud that and also once upon a time we'll come again in Jakarta to submit your speech. Yeah. You have to come to Jakarta again to submit your speech. Yeah, as a doctor. And your PhDs is the first PhDs from foreign student, and we hope the next will come again to follow you. Yeah. Be proud also that your PhD in Untar is a very good situation for you and for us. Yeah. And congratulations for you to get the doctoral program from the University of Tarumanegara. Yeah. This is the first student, foreign student, to get the doctoral program from University of Tarumanegara, and we hope the next will follow you to get the doctoral program in Untar also. Okay. Do you hear me?
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, congratulations for you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Reflection from your doctor.
Okay. I am feeling extremely happy and exciting to be newly promoted doctor. Without the patient and continuous support from all of you, I cannot be here to present my doctoral dissertation and finish the programs. I feel that I'm very lucky from the very beginning of this PhD program. Firstly, I got the scholarship from UNDA, and then I have two excellent promoters. And later on, no matter when I was in China or in Indonesia, the faculty always provide me the patient help and support. For example, Pak Deni and Ibu Dena always help me for every examination and my online system. Pak Levi started to help me a lot since from the application procedure of my program. And Ibu Anita and Ibu Uguan for always encouraging me to finish the Professor Mena and Pak Adi for their support of every procedure of the doctoral program. And my special thanks to Professor Dr. Ahmad Sudino, our Dean and Rector. It's him approved me to do the online defense due to my personal issues. Last but not least, my deepest appreciation to my supervisors, Professor Abdul Ghani Abdullah and Dr. Gato Sumatono for helping me to go through every step of this doctoral program. Thank you all. Thank you.
Director of Universitas Tarumanagara, Professor Dr. Ahmad Sudiro, SHMH MKN MM, officially closed the open doctoral defense.
With gratitude to God Almighty, the open examination for the Doctor of Law promotion at Tarumanagara University, Tuesday, November 2021 and 2024 is hereby officially closed.
The official ceremony of the open doctoral defense for the doctoral promotion in law Universitas Tarumanagara is concluded. Photographer will be taken with the procession participant. Along with the procession, will now exit the room and extend congratulations to the entire series of events for the open doctoral defense for the doctoral promotion of Universitas Tarumanagara has concluded.
Terima